Irish is just like a DNA, where each person, human beings, iris or DNA is entirely unique, to themselves. So I think it's the first time in the world that the iris recognition technology has been used in voter registration and identification. It's a first in the world. Yeah.
And it had to come from Somaliland. And I understand a lot of people have already been caught who were trying to register twice, something like 30,000 people.
Yes, so without, it goes to show, the use, the good use of, the necessity of the iris technology. Because if the iris technology wasn't there, hadn't been deployed, I'm sure these 30,000 odd people would have gotten away with, would have gotten away with double registration, double voting.
Now, even though this iris system appears to be more reliable, as you correctly pointed out, than other systems, isn't it also more expensive and difficult in terms of the machinery that will be used?
Democracy is so cheap. Democracy is an expensive business. Therefore, if one can, any country can afford it, they have to, not spare the expense, to ensure, peaceful democratic processes, in that individual country.
It's interesting that you say that because, of course, officials in Somaliland say they are determined to bring democracy honestly and efficiently to the territory. Now, in terms of the cost and the complicated machinery, as we mentioned, how can Somaliland afford it? I understand it's funded by the European Union to the tune of around $20 million.
Yes, the European Union and I think the UK is also, has also contributed, and also gone forward to even contribute about more than 200,000 pounds, to pay for 60 international observers, to go to the elections. So, the UN and the UK and the EU and other Western countries are bankrolling, the elections. Yeah.
Now, isn't it strange that the EU is funding this election? Because the EU does not recognize Somaliland as an independent country, and in a way, funding this election is recognizing Somaliland as an independent territory.
It's number one, it's an irony, Charles, that number one, no country, recognizes Somaliland as an independent nation. Yet, they are chipping around to help it. Why? Because Somaliland, it's a bastion, if I could use that word, of democracy in the region, right? It's got a very good democratic structures. It's held, a genuine, peaceful elections in 2003 and 2010. And it is the one country where the president, on a continent where presidents like to prolong their stay in power, is the one country where the incumbent president has vowed not to necessarily spend a day more than necessary in office.
Now,
okay, and again, the Somaliland is helping to combat piracy and terrorism in the Horn of Africa. So if you're doing these things, naturally, it's an irony, but though they don't recognize as a nation, they will still help to prop up, develop.
Well, the EU argues that they're supporting democracy, not independence. But no one anywhere, as you pointed out at the outset, has actually conducted elections using the iris. So the whole world is looking at Somaliland and at these elections. Is it likely that other African countries will follow the system if it goes well?
I think it is an excellent template, for other African countries, to emulate, to copy, right? Let's see what's happening in Kenya right now. Okay, let's see what's happening in Liberia as well. So it's a trend. They've set the trend, the pace, and I think other African countries need to, copy it.